doesn't look as good as I thought it was going to.
Hello, everyone. You got to do a theater presentation for Armored Core 6. I didn't even get into.
I've never played the Armored Core
Bandai
game,
Namco's
so I'm
little
like,
booth over
I'm
there.
interested about this, but I'm not entirely sure what to expect. I hear really good things. People in my comment sections have like told me like interesting things about Armored Core, but yeah, I'm not sold on the game yet. I'm not.
Yeah.
It comes
It
out
was
soon
exclusive,
though.
but it was locked down.
I will say it
Big
doesn't look
time.
as good as I was expecting
So yeah, I
based
saw
off
some
of just like
Armored
this
Core
gameplay
6.
right
I
here.
saw
Like
some
this
of the devs playing
kinda
the game.
looks like a PS4 game, which I do believe it's cross-gen, but like this looks like a PS4 game from a couple years ago. Obviously, graphics are not the end all be all of the game, but
Just right off the bat, this is a mainly single player game. There's gonna be a campaign. That's like the main appeal of the game. However, like past Armored Core games, there will be some versus.
Okay.
PvP, you can play against some people like that, but it's not going to be like, as far as I'm aware, co-op.
okay, interesting. I would have assumed that this would have been mostly a multiplayer experience, like about building out your mech and like fighting online stuff. The fact that it's mostly a single player experience, like, definitely does get me a lot more interested than I thought it was going to be.
So I also believe they said this is like a reboot of the series story-wise. So
Oh, interesting.
I don't think you'll have to feel like worried about being lost or
That's
anything
cool.
like that.
No.
Wait, okay, it's a reboot of the series story-wise. Then why are they calling it Armored Core 6? Why not just call it Armored Core or like Armored Core Fires of the Rubicon without... But that's at least good, though. Like, I'm at least happy about that in the terms of, like, I'm not going to need to be... Because I was worried about jumping into the 6th entry. I was like, is that too hard to break into? How dense is this going to be? Because From Software is big on their lore, right? So I was like, is that going to be a hard bridge to breach? But apparently not.
Games aren't getting ported around.
Yeah. So the level I saw was this like giant hanging factory kind of in the sky.
I will say that the actual gameplay of this looks excellent. Like, this looks really fast, fluid. A lot... Like, the thing about mech games is they always kind of look clunky to me, but I guess, like, I don't know, maybe I was just looking at the wrong type of mech games, because this right here looks like really, it looks really fluid. Like, the way you're kind of boosting around and stuff, it's intriguing.
They
It's
stress
intriguing.
that levels are very big. On the left hand, they had like a huge beam saber. You just climb up to guys and just slash through them really quick.
That's sick. I love that. Okay, melee combat confirmed.
So rad. Also had like a giant like shield that came. It reminded me of like
okay.
a guardian shield almost down from Breath of the Wild. It's like a
Wait, let's run that back a little bit. I like how slick this one looks. This mech, as opposed to some of the other ones I've seen.
there's a lot of verticality they stressed also time like up and down way more
Verticality. Love it.
than ever before. Like they added a few things to help making get around a little easier. There was like these launch pads.
That's cool. If you're gonna have verticality, I like being able to like quickly boost up and down. I think that's exciting.
The guy I saw playing the demo, he died like 3 times during this demo.
Nice.
So there's one difficulty in the game. It's just gonna be,
Yep.
you know,
From Software.
From Software. You got to
Let's go.
I believe levels are stage based also. So I know a lot of the games from Software have recently been kind of all interconnected.
Interesting. So I'm very curious to know like how this game is going to be difficulty wise. I'd be curious to know like how difficult the other Armored Core games were, considering like FromSoft is like known for their difficulty. You know, obviously with the Souls games and stuff, but I don't know if Armored Core was like known for its difficulty. Like, I'm not sure if that's like a core part of, you know, the Armored Core game, the Armored Core experience as well. I kind of would have expected this to have like difficulty options, but I like that's just one. And the fact that this is like a single player driven experience, like, again, for some reason I just thought this was gonna be more multiplayer heavy, which I'm really excited to hear that it's not. I'm more interested in this, like, we're only halfway through this preview, but I'm way more interested in this game now than I was, you know, when it was announced. So
You know, don't really run up.
I really like. Well, let's run it back for a sec. I really like
clear
this,
what a
the
checkpoint
melee,
is.
the
I
melee
believe levels
dodging
are
that's going on
stage-based
here.
Also, so I know a lot of
Seems
the
pretty
games from
satisfying.
Software
Like, look at that.
recently kinda
Boom.
all interconnected. I believe these are all stage
Dash
based.
right out of the
They
way.
are
That
big.
looks
There's
looks
checkpoints
really
to the levels.
gratifying.
It's
Like,
kind of
it definitely seems like one of those games that, like, if you get good at it, like, you just it looks like you're watching an anime.
if you're going through, you hit to a roadblock. You're like, maybe I need to change your mech up. You will be able to change parts at the checkpoints, so you don't feel like you get hard stuck. You got to reset the whole level, which is very, very nice.
That is nice.
That's really, really cool. Okay, I like that. And also, it encourages you to try like new gameplay styles and like experiment with stuff. And if you're like having a really hard time of something, like maybe it allows you to kind of rethink the way that you're approaching things. As someone who really enjoys playing games that has a particularly like dodging, like I always in all the Souls games and character action games, like I always favor more like um dodging and stuff like that. It feels like I actually might be really at home with like the way that this plays.
I believe you're a mercenary in this game, so you
Perfect.
gun for hire,
Heck
all
yeah.
that stuff. Cool little
Whoa! First of all, very cool boss fight, a sequence that's showing off, or like enemy sequence, like right there. But also, I wonder. Like, I'm curious about the story of this game. I wonder if this is going to be more direct than a lot of the other Souls games. I don't. Again, I've never played the other Armored Core games, so I don't know how like direct the storytelling is. But you know, FromSoft is more like environment based, but it doesn't look like there's a whole lot like of like actual like exploration to do here. It almost seems like the environments are like just arenas. So I feel like I might need to have a more direct story, but
it wasn't necessarily like a normal armored core you're fighting. It's like a normal mech. It was like a giant construction thing. It looked like the boss.
yeah, that's really cool. The diversity in the boss fights, like this makes me very excited for the potential of like what the different bosses could be. Because that's such an inventive like type of enemy. I'm glad that's not just like other armored cores that you're gonna be fighting.
From near almost
Really?
now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
It was like this giant construction thing with blades, and at the top there was like a fire. It looked like, you know, like a fire.
Interesting. I wonder why I was hands off though. The game comes out soon. Doesn't this game come out in like August? Shouldn't the media be getting hands on with this game pretty soon?
I imagine,
Yeah.
you know, we saw so many Soulsborne clones. I imagine, you know, Armored Core clones now. The floodgates are going to open. Like, I know it's a.
That's interesting. I didn't think about that. I wonder if this is going to lead to a resurgence of a bunch of mech games. And how many of them are going to be good? But you know what? I've kind of turned around on Armored Core 6. I'm kind of excited about
You
it
know,
now.
old.
Excellent. That was an excellent hands-off preview. It was brief, but it was very informative. I love these guys. If you don't already, follow Easy Allies on YouTube is their primary platform, but these guys have been fantastic over the years. Used to be Game Trailers a long time ago, and they do great video game coverage. So I will probably be reacting to a lot of their content if it is something like the Armored Core hands-off preview, something that like I can't just pull up a trailer for or something. If it's like a preview event or something that these guys cover, we'll probably be reacting to a lot of their content. So give them a follow over on YouTube and their socials if you're interested.